Hello, it's Kiki with a lot redder hair than it was in the last video that I made. But I'm in a undisclosed location. I'm house sitting for someone, so again, different background and all that stuff. I'm going to be starting the Rom-Com-A-Thon reading vlog. And that is 4 books. I don't have them all with me right now. I have only 2 of them with me. There is the Kiss Quotation, there is Twisted Hate, The Mistake, Culty, which I'm going to be reading on KU because I don't actually physically have that book, and Delilah Green Doesn't Care. I think that's all of them. But yeah, I'm already kind of getting started on Rom-Com-A-Thon. I'm starting with The Kiss Quotation by Helen Wang. I am already 122 pages in. Usually I like to do 100-page mark and then the 50% mark and then hopefully the end mark. But as of right now, it's really cute. The story is about a girl with Asperger's who just is not great with relationships and everything that comes with it. We'll just say that. And so she hires an escort, a very, very handsome escort named Michael, to help her out. And so right now they are making decisions on how to go about doing that. It's very cute, it's very funny, it's very fluffy, it's got some spice in it. But yeah, so far it's really cute. I'm loving it. I actually, a couple days ago, I stayed up way too late, still just reading it because I just couldn't stop reading it. And I looked up at the clock and it was already like 2:30. So if that is gonna show you that I am enjoying this a lot, then yeah. Like I said, I am at the 100-page mark, or at least a little above that, but I am hoping to continue on, and I will hopefully update you when I get to the 50% mark and tell you how I'm feeling about it. Hello, update. I am that much in. I realized that I was that much in. And I was like, oh, I'm practically almost done with this book. So I'm definitely at the 50% mark. Probably already. So, whoops. I'm enjoying it a lot still. It's very cute. The tension is so good that you forget that so far, that much into it, there's only one like sex scene. There's only one little smut scene. And then when you finally get to it, you're just like, yes, finally, they did it, you know? So the tension in this is so good. They did it very good. I did notice that there's a lot of miscommunication in it, which can be annoying, but I found myself not annoyed. I usually do not like miscommunication very much, but this does not annoy me, and I'm very surprised about that. Thank goodness I bought my next book, because I didn't think that I would be so invested in this, that I would be almost done within like 2 days. But yeah, so it's going good. I do think that the characters are really great. So it's a double whammy for me because the story's really good and the characters are really good. So yeah, and just hope that it finishes off really strong, because that's the only way I could think that it could get maybe a 4-star or a 3-star. Because right now, this is actually feeling like my first 5-star read of the year, and I'm really hoping it actually happens. So wish me luck. Hello, I am sorry for my crazy looking hair. I didn't just wake up, but I'm getting there. Also, if you hear a background noise of like whooshing sounds, that is because the place I'm house sitting is literally next to like the busiest street, and there is never a time when it's not busy. So unfortunately, it's gonna have to be like this. So I'm sorry. Sorry in advance. Did want to talk about the fact that I finished The Kiss Quotient. It was so good. I loved it. This was my very first 5-star of the year. I'm so happy for that. It was great. I loved the characters. I loved the story. I love the side characters, especially Michael's family. I love that his 5 sisters always made him like feel weird or awkward by going, you know, oh, get a room, you know, every time they caught him like making out or kissing or him looking at her or something like that. They always called him out on it because just how siblings are. I love that. I love that the grandma just is so laid back and chill. She heard her granddaughters, the twins, fighting, and she just turned up that TV as loud as possible. It was probably the most awkward scene because it was not good for Stella in that scene, and it gives to show you like how much her autism really does like affect her, which I'm glad that they didn't stray away from. I loved how they perceived autism. I am not autistic myself, but I definitely have issues where any overly high noises or overly like repetitive noises will bug me so much that I literally have to be like, I gotta go. I gotta not be here. So I totally get Stella. And I also get the whole awkward. I am super awkward and not social at all either. That's why I choose books. But I love Stella. And also the fact that Stella never treated Michael like he was below her because he was an escort. And then you find out why Michael was escorting, and that breaks your heart a little. It was all around just so well done. And I definitely think, I know that this is a trilogy, but they're like standalones. I think they're all standalones. But I think I definitely want to get into the next one because I think I heard somewhere on a podcast that the next book is about Kai. I think I'm saying his name right, but it's the brother of Quan, but he also has autism. But I love the idea that we're going to meet Kai and have his story, and then whoever that is. And then also we're going to meet the infamous crazy mom that Quan keeps talking about, that he's like, she's crazy. I don't even know. I don't know how she likes you, Michael, but she likes you. But I'm really excited about that too. It's just these characters. These characters are just all amazing and you get attached to them, and I love them so much. But yes, 5 stars. The prompt was a POC main character for Rom-Com-A-Thon, whereas Helen has made Stella a kind of open book kind of descriptor character. Michael is definitely Vietnamese and Swedish. And Swedish? Yeah, Swedish. And even goes to the like further step by saying that he actually looks exactly like K-drama star Daniel Henney. I think I'm saying that correct. But yeah, right there. Daniel Henney. So knowing that Helen has given a description of like an actual actor, of course I went and looked him up. And so now that's the way I picture Michael, is this actor. And if this was to be made into a movie, I would hope they would consider him to play Michael. He is a little bit on the older side. I think he's in his 40s, but I wouldn't be angry at it. He is a very good looking man. So, but yes, I agree, Helen. It's already a great start to the Rom-Com-A-Thon. So my next book, I think, is going to be, even though I probably should read Colty next, for the simple reason that is a 500 plus book and I am freaking out over that. Oh, and slow burn. I am very worried. But against my better judgment, just because when I read, I do this thing where before anything, I usually like to read the first chapter of books and just kind of get a vibe of which books I think are going to probably be good and which ones I'm thinking are probably going to have to be something where I'm going to have to like kind of push myself to read a little bit more. The Mistake, the very first chapter of The Mistake was so good that I almost thought, I just want to continue going. I am kind of already pretty into it. I want to say I've already made it to the 50-page mark. Yes, I'm actually about to hit the 100-page mark in this book. This is about Logan. Yeah, this is Logan's story. He is Garrett Graham's teammate and friend. And this is his story about how he has to get over the idea that he can't have Hannah, which is Garrett's girl from the last book, and how he needs to move on. And so he randomly knocks on a door thinking it was some kind of guy he knew, and ends up being someone named Grace, who is very innocent and is a freshman and still kind of naive to the world. And of course, not Garrett, Logan kind of likes that she just seems like she's not jaded to the party scene and Briar U and all that stuff, and it definitely like makes him attracted to her. And of course chaos ensues. But yeah, I'm excited to read and get more into this. It's really good so far. Logan is just a really sweet character, and Grace, I can really root for Grace, especially since this is also getting more into the topic of how catty people can still be from high school to college, and how it really doesn't change very much when it comes to being just an asshole. You know what I mean. But yeah, I like the underlining themes also in here as well. But yeah, and I will update you when I am at the, well, since this is telling you what it is, / I'm pretty close to the 100%, or not 100%, the 100-page mark. I will see you when I am 50% in. Hello, it is a little later in the night. I am officially at the 50% mark of The Mistake. I am still very much enjoying this. We've gotten to the part where there's like a big, what's it called? Not like a time gap, I guess, where it's like summertime happens. He's gonna go do something, it's family wise, and she goes to Paris to go see her mom, changes her hair color, nice and blonde, and just how Logan likes his girl, supposedly. And the next semester is where it takes back to place where Logan has decided that he wants to get her back, and he will do anything to get her back, and he was going to woo her. And so that is where I'm at right now. He is still wooing her. He's getting somewhere because they shared another kiss, and she was supposedly on a date with another guy, and whoopsie poopsie, that happened. But obviously they're gonna end up together. It's definitely an HEA, so it's going to end like that. But I'm really enjoying it. I'm having fun with it. It kind of just brings me back to this off-campus series, what you enjoy about it, what you enjoy about the deal, and Hannah and Garrett, and it makes me really excited to read the story about the next one is The Score, and that is about Dean and I forgot her name, but I think it's a friends with benefits situation that happens, and so that's their story. And then of course the score, which is going to be Tucker and another girl, I forgot her name too, but I'm really excited. I really want to continue on with this series because I just forgot how good the series is. Like, it's so fun. It's very mindless. You don't have to like think too hard with these kind of books. I'm really excited to like possibly be two. I'm also doing sprints, so if I'm looking over here, it's because I'm making sure that I'm not missing some valuable time to start reading when they put the timer on. I'm like 9 days away from the actual Rom-Com-A-Thon readathon, and to be 2 books in and maybe possibly being into the 3rd book, maybe have a pretty good dent in the really big one, which is Culty. I feel like it's a great accomplishment. And then after Culty, I would only have Delilah Green Doesn't Care, and and Twisted Hate. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to get into Twisted Hate. I heard everyone freaking loves Twisted Hate, and so I'm real excited to finally see it. I think that is it. I don't want to go into spoilers, and I definitely don't want to talk about Spice until after my final thoughts. So I will be back with that. Hello. It is the very next day. It is 11:13 to be exact. And I have officially finished The Mistake. Another exciting reason that I finished it is because this actually got rid of 2 prompts. I had 2 prompts in this one book. Dual POV and second chance romance were the ones that got crossed off because I read this book. So I'm really excited, and oh, I didn't even tell you about it. I'm definitely rating this a probably I'm gonna rate this a 4 out of 5 because I think I did that for the deal as well. Maybe the deal actually was a little lower just because it felt like the deal kind of kept going on and on and on, and just felt like it never was ending. Like, you were getting to a point where like felt like it was ending, and then you saw that there was like 3-4 more chapters left, and you're just like, how? Why? Whereas this one, it felt like the pacing made a little bit more sense. The story was great. The characters were great. And this is a really big deal because I'm really not a fan of second chance romance. But the way it was done in here, where we saw the mistake happen, and then a few years later, and then you see them realizing what they want and going back for what they want, I feel like that helped a lot too. Let's talk about the spice. The spice is pretty good, but we don't get into the smutty parts, I want to say, until pretty late into the book, because the whole point of it is Grace is a virgin, and because of that, it's something where Logan takes very seriously, and he doesn't want to rush her, and he wants it to make sure it's a good time. And so it made sense for the smutty scenes to not happen until much later in the book because of that. But the tension in here of all the stuff beforehand, the hookup before everything went to shit, the flirting definitely was good, and they got together kind of like in the middle of the book, so you also got to enjoy like the relationship as well. I'm gonna give it a 3. I think a 3 is a good one. This is a like 3 out of 5 spicy peppers. So it's still kind of mid. I definitely think is kind of 2 feels like tension's okay, but there's maybe like 1 or 2 smut scenes. 1 I feel like there's just like one smut scene and no tension at all. 3, a lot of tension, a lot of getting there to like, you have a lot of moving forward before you get to the good part. 4 probably is a little bit more of the tension, and then probably more smut scenes. And then 5, I feel like, is just straight up smut. So that's kind of how I rate my stuff. And so I definitely do think 3 in my book of how I rate my spicy stuff. This fits that pretty perfectly. Okay, so 2 books down, and I think it is time. I've been putting it off for way too long. I think it's time to start culty. I'm thinking that because I have the mindset right now for like sports romance, then maybe mild sports romance into a more like medium sports romance, which I'm guessing it's probably not all about soccer. I hope. We'll see. I'm not a big soccer fan, so if it starts throwing out terminology at me, I might just be like, I don't know about this. I don't know if the slow burn's worth this. We'll see. Like I said in my past clip, I do have the audio book for it, so I'm hoping that will also make the process of a 500 plus book go a lot faster. So we will see. But yeah, I will update you when I am at the 50, no, sorry. We are at the 100-page mark. Hello, I am updating you about reading Culty. It's going good so far. It is, they're not joking when they say it's a slow burn. I am 36% in, 100 pages in. That's why I'm doing this update, because I'm 100 pages in. And they're just now kind of like talking to each other. So, yeah, it's definitely a slow burn. Really not that much to say right now, because it's like that much of a slow burn where it's nothing is happening other than Goldie, the guy. He's German and he's an asshole, and he was assigned to be the assistant coach to Sal. And she used to have a humongous crush on him, but he's done a couple of things that makes her realize, like, never meet your heroes, pretty much. It's going. I am reading on KU, and then I'm also listening to the audiobook for it. I think I said that in the last clip. But yeah, I think it's definitely helping it go by a lot faster, which I'm happy about. Yeah, the fact that I'm already like 30 something percent in, like, that's pretty good. Like, I'm pretty close to giving you guys another update, but honestly, for how this is going, I don't think that much will be happening either at 50%. And I think I said it, but just in case if I didn't, this is for the prompt age gap. So, he's 40 or about to be 40, and she's like 27, I think. So, hello. It is, when's the last time I updated you? I think it was last night. So, it is the next day. I am doing several things all at once. Because Culty is an audiobook, I'm able to do multiple things as well as listen. I'm making a lot of good progress in getting through Culty, and I am already at the 50% mark. Yay! Yes! So here's the deal. I'm not gonna DNF it because I know what I was getting into with a slow burn. So there's that. But I guess I wasn't expecting it to be such a slow burn. Like 50% in, and they're kind of flirting with each other, but they're not. She still finds him to be an asshole and atrocious and grumpy and unlikable. And then there's only like little glimmers of moments where he's like, he's cool and he's nice and he does really nice things for her, and it baffles her and things like that. And that's 50% into the book. That is crazy to me. I guess I'm used to more fast pace. I didn't think I was. It's such a slow burn that I don't think I was prepared for. And I know that a lot of her books are like this. But I don't know if maybe they're more tolerable than some. I'm at page 293, and according to my audiobook, I still have 4 hours and 13 minutes, I think, somewhere along there. So I still have a ways to go. I still have a whole Titanic movie worth of Colty to get through. And yes, I do base on my how much time I have on the longest movie ever, which to me is Titanic, which is 4 hours, I think. 3 hours, something minutes maybe, but I'm just gonna count it as 4 hours. So if it's longer than Titanic, then we need to talk. There's just really not a lot happening. They haven't even kissed yet. They haven't even like touched each other and felt a spark yet. Like there has been nothing, and I'm just going. This is great. Like learning about soccer and practice and all that, and injuries, and because that's just where I left off. Is she just had a horrible injury where she had to be bed rest for like 4 days because she bruised her ribs or something. I don't know. I don't think this is gonna be a 5-star. I don't think this is gonna be a 5-star. I don't know if this is gonna be a 4-star either, to be honest. It's looking right now, it's looking more 3-star than anything, but you know what? Maybe once the romance hits, maybe it will become a 4-star. So I'm gonna leave it optimism and say that right now it's looking at a 3 to 4-star. So we will see how that goes. Okay, so I forgot when I last updated you, but it is either a few days later, because the 50% mark of Colty and the finishing mark of Colty feels like a gigantic gap in between. So it did take me a few days, I'm thinking. I don't know. But I did finally get it done. I do have thoughts though. I am going to start this by saying I gave it 3 out of 5 stars, which is not bad. It still was an enjoyable story. That I don't see the chemistry. I didn't see the chemistry. I didn't feel the chemistry from either her or him. And I always, to be honest, thought it was weird that by the time we did finally get to the spicy parts, which by the way was like a 90% of the book almost being done, 85% when they finally first kissed. Baffling to me. I don't even know what I was saying. I felt like there was gonna be a build-up and a tension, and other than a couple like cute little moments, I really wasn't feeling it though. I wasn't really feeling that they were into each other as much as it just felt very like, for a long period of time, just friends, and that was it. And so I'm a little confused on why people just like rave about culties so much, because it just feels like if the biggest factor for people for not liking a romance is the lack of chemistry, why? I'm very confused. So if you love culty, please let me know. Maybe I'm just not understanding something that maybe you guys are. But yeah, it was a little too slow burn for me, because I feel like if you're gonna make something that slow burn, I need to see some tension. I need to see some attraction. I need to see the give and pull of being like, should we, shouldn't we, for a long period of time. Like, that's just something I enjoy a little bit more. I did not like how much of what felt like nothing was happening in this story. Don't get me wrong, once you get there, Mariana Zapata, A+ at writing smut, because like that was a scene, you know? But to get there, to have to go through soccer terminology, and I just didn't care. It just felt like I just was like, okay, I'm ready for some kind of tension. In the 90% mark, I was still like confused, because they were still calling each other like friends. And I'm like, he just fingered you. How are you still calling him a friend? You're way beyond that. Stop calling him a friend. Like, y'all just did something. I don't know. To try to be positive, I am going to just say, I think is a great first read for people who want to get into romance, who want to get into maybe smuttier romance, because it's so much more story than it is romance. And I feel like that's a good little in between. And the funny thing is I actually do have one more Mariana Zapata book I need to read. I bought the physical cover, the physical book of The Walls of Winnipeg and Me, for the fact that I thought that was actually going to be my very first Mariana Zapata book. But when the Rom-Com came through and I needed to find an age gap, culty ended up being what I picked. So comment down below if you think that's going to be better for me, or if you think that's going to be exponentially like worse for me, knowing how I feel about culty. And anyone who, I really want to pick the brain of someone who just loves culty, who just like eats that shit up, because I have to know. I have to know what it is that I'm missing that you didn't miss, because I feel like that has to be it. I'm missing something. I immediately went straight into Twisted Hate. I'm so excited. This is the third in the series. This is a favorite. It seems like, from what I'm getting, that it's either this one or Twisted Games, which I really did like. I did feel like it was going a little bit longer than it should have for Twisted Games, and that was my only like pet peeve about it. Twisted Hate, on the other hand, so far is really good. I like the pacing. That also might be because I'm reading this after culty. So far so good. I like Josh. I like Jules. I see that Jules has some kind of trauma. And of course, from past books, we know that Josh has trauma because of his dad. That was part of the Twisted Love. I keep getting all the mixed up, because there's Twisted Love, Twisted Lies, and Twisted Games, and then Twisted Hate. So I'm just like, I get confused sometimes. But, so we know that he has trauma too, and I kind of love that they are going to share their trauma, it seems like, and that's how they're going to bond, because right now it is very much a hate right now about each other, and it's about to turn into a friends with benefits situation. That's why I have it as one of the prompts. They're at a ski trip right now that they're with Ava and Alex. Forgot his name. His name is Alex. And they had a miscommunication of their hotel rooms, and it's a one-bed trope. Hey, yeah, so. I am on sprints right now. I am on Sarah's, from Sarah Shell's sprints, where she is doing a 24-hour read-along of Mindfuck with Lexi, with books with Lexi. And yeah, and so far as right now, they're just kind of doing like a game section right now. So I got this opportunity and this chance to update you. And when I hit the 50% mark, the halfway mark in here, I will give you another update. Hello, I am back. As you can see, it is much darker, but I am still doing the 24-hour mindfuck reading sprints. Because you're doing 24 hours, I'm getting a lot of reading done, and I managed to already make it to the 50% mark of Twisted Hate. So I'm enjoying this so much more than Goldie. The pacing is better, the just the tension's better. It's already gotten to the spicy parts. There's already been several spicy parts. So yeah, this is going a lot better than Goldie. I can definitely see why this is a favorite amongst people who read the Twisted series. Josh Chin is an interesting character. He's very like overly confident, but he's like good at dirty talk. The smut scenes alone are just, ooh, so good. I definitely love the tension in here. I love that it's not miscommunication as much as it's like they don't want to admit to each other that they are starting to like each other, because they've already had this deal where it's a friends with benefits and that they made these rules, and if you break the rules then they have to break it off. So no one wants to say how they really feel, and their egos are both in the way, and they don't want to get hurt. And then there's also like this weird side plot where like this person that Jules used to know, and like back in the day before she was Jules Ambrose, she's getting in trouble with that, but she doesn't want to get anyone to help her out, even though I'm sure if she just told Josh what's going on, then it probably would work itself out. This is a soap opera in a book. I feel like I love that it's so dramatic. It's like so over the top almost in a way. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this. What I'm kind of feeling, what I'm vibing with star rating. You know what? I'm gonna say this feels like this could possibly be a 4 to 5 star. Depending on how this goes, this could be a 4 to 5 star. Oh, that's another thing. I'm reading this on audiobook. The guy who does the narration for Josh for this audiobook, perfection. It's like grovelly and it's low and it's you know. And I'm not even doing a good impression of it. But then there's the female who sounds like she's whispering all the time, and it kind of gets on my nerves a little. So, but you know, that's funny too, because usually the audiobook narrators definitely determine if I'm going to enjoy a book. With Get a Life, Chloe Brown, where they had a narrator who sounded way much more older than actually who should be the voice of Chloe Brown, and it became almost like too much, and it made me lose my interest in the book itself because I hated the narrator that much. But somehow I'm able to like power through with the girl, because I know I'm gonna get sultry, grovelly voice, low voice, sexy ass male narrator from this. He's good. He's real good, and I'm like A+, like narrate my life. That's my little update. I really have not much left of like what I want to talk about. But yeah, maybe I'll update you later tonight. We'll see. Hi. It is the day after Valentine's Day, or what I like to call Galentine's Day, because that's single life. But I had a cheat day yesterday, and so I feel horrible today. So, if I just seem out of sorts, that is why. I think I completely forgot to update you after the 24-hour mindfuck reading sprint. What's his hair doing? Can you not be standing up like that, please? Okay, whatever. I finished this whole thing in that whole 24-hour reading sprint. I finished Twisted Hate. There's really not much to say because I knew I was gonna love it. I can see why people love this one. It's a very like hate to love, but still hook up kind of situation, which makes it very evilly delicious to read. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars, and when we're talking about spicy, I'm going to probably give this, well, I'm gonna give this a 4. A lot of smut scenes. It was a lot of kinky kind of smut scenes, not like overly kinky, but like obviously Jules and Josh were not afraid to do it in public. They weren't afraid to do it in different positions. They weren't afraid to do it with dirty talk and hands on throats and scratching on backs and all that stuff. So of course, like, I gotta put that into consideration, that this is definitely got a lot more of certain kinks, I think, than some of the other books that I've been reading, which just, it was good old smut, pretty much. I love this. I think it's great. I can't wait for the 4th one. I'm so surprised I finished this in one day, because usually these are pretty big. But yeah, that was Twisted Hate. And in pure Kiki fashion, I am already like 100 pages in to Delilah Green Doesn't Care. Really not much is happening. She got back to her hometown. She's been flirting a little bit with Claire, the friend, the maid of honor, I think is what she is. She's obviously not very well liked because they have this stigma of who she used to be when they were making fun of her. Astrid's like her stepsister, so her stepmom. So obviously it's like the whole stepsister stepmom relationship. Her dad died. Again, because it's only 100 pages in my update for this, there's really not much going on. Very good introductions to the characters. I am enjoying it, and I hope to continue enjoying it. I have been putting off reading for a while. Like, I didn't read any of yesterday, or I think the day before. Yeah, because actually that's not true. I read a little bit of the day before, not Valentine's Day, but the day before Valentine's Day, because that was actually Super Bowl Sunday, and that's actually when I started this. So as I was reading the Gay as Hell book, I was also watching the men pat each other's butts on TV. So yeah, perfect timing, right? I'm getting introduced to the characters. But yeah, that is it for my update. I'm going to be reading a little bit more today, and hopefully I will be updating you today. Hopefully. Hello. Same day, different shit. So I am still reading Delilah Green Doesn't Care. So I'm enjoying the romance part. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna back this up a little. You guys are very, very close to me. Okay, so much better. Okay. So I am enjoying the romance part of this, but I do have a couple of things where I feel like I don't know if it's just me personally, or it's just the way I was. Oh, well, okay. I don't want to make this sound like this is about to be like something like extremely hateful. It's not. I don't know why I worded it like that. Something about me is my sister is gay. She has a partner and we love her very much. She's amazing. They're getting married here in May, so I'm very, very excited. But I feel like I almost can't get into this because it's just a little too close to home. I feel like maybe that's why I can't enjoy this as much, which sucks because I heard so many good things about this and I can see why everyone loves this book. I have some issues with some of the characters too. I feel like Claire, as of right now, is not very likable. Like, I'm not enjoying her. I feel like I get that she has reservations about her baby daddy because he left for a long period of time and like decided he just didn't want to do it anymore. But I don't know, maybe that's just my straightness coming out. But like he's doing it. He's doing it right now. He's being a good dad. He's giving the 11-year-old Ruby space to like breathe and just to be herself, and he's being a dad who just, it seems like he gives her rules and boundaries, but at the same time the chance to be like an 11-year-old and not be treated like a child. And then Claire treats her like a child, checks up on her all the time, and then when the baby daddy like makes a joke with Claire, she's like, how dare you say that to me? I was like, brah, take a fucking joke, my dude. Like, calm down. Like, you're the kind of mom that would drive me up the fucking wall. So like, I don't know, it's irking me. Delilah Green though, really fucking cool character. I love the shit out of her. She's everything that I would want to be, and the idea of just like the confidence and the ability to just know that she's been treated like shit and she tries really hard to like not show it and things like that. And I think the way she's written is really amazing. I have decided after this couple of books that I've had to read for Rom-Com-A-Thon that I am definitely a character-driven reader. I like it when you make the characters what they're supposed to be. If they are a villain, then you make them straight up a villain. You don't fucking like teeter-totter between that, but you can still give the villain a conflict that makes you feel bad for the villain. Or if you're giving a character who is just an all-around like sunshine person, make that person a all-around sunshine person. Do not half-ass it. I don't want you to half-ass it. I don't know who I'm talking to. I don't know who I'm talking to anymore. When I don't like the characters, it doesn't bode well in the star rating part. Oh, by the way, I made it to the 50% mark. To a point where if these characters don't start becoming more likable, I hate saying it, but this might have to be a DNF. I'm hoping not, just because I know so many people love this book, and I'm getting to a point where I'm just annoyed with myself, because this is not the first time that there's been like this beloved book that everyone just like all around, just like all together decide we love this book. This book is perfection. And then for me to read it finally and be so excited because I'm like, hey, I get to read this really beloved book. I know it's going to be a top rated thing. And me to be disappointed because everyone loves it so much and I don't. Technically, I have yet to actually properly DNF this. I will probably continue reading it because I have the audiobook for it, so might as well. If I don't enjoy the characters here soon, that's kind of worse looking like. And I hate to say that because at this point in the 50% mark, I always like to give you my guesses of where I'm thinking in the star rating. And honestly, right now, I can't. Not going good, but kind of going good, but still going for it because I'm not there yet where I'm just like, oh, I have to DNF this, you know? So we're still working. We're still trucking. But hopefully I'll have an update for you because I finished it or because I just went ahead and DNF'd it. Hi. Okay, so good news and bad news. Good news. I end up finishing Delilah Green Doesn't Care. Bad news. Not because I enjoyed it. I still gave this a 2.5 stars. And I end up finding a little reasons why the possibilities of why maybe this just wasn't the book for me. So the first thing is I end up finding out that Ashley Herring Blake is a YA author, and this was her first attempt apparently of making a adult romance. So I'm thinking that probably has a lot to do with it and why I felt like the characters were not developed enough. And why I think they probably were written pretty juvenile actually. And it did not feel like anything that Delilah or Claire or any of the friends were doing felt like something an actual adult would do. I definitely think that was a big factor of why I probably didn't like this. If you're trying out for this video for the first time, then just to keep you updated on like how I feel, I don't mind YA, but it definitely has to like hit like a certain way for me to actually enjoy it. It's not impossible, but it also is very rare too. So anything that I feel like where the author has been a YA author and then started getting into adult, I could still kind of sense it. Also why I really just don't do YA romances. Same reason, it just feels really juvenile to me. It doesn't feel like they're very well developed, and it's what I kind of got from this. The second thing I didn't like is I don't think I ever started liking Claire. Claire was a character I did not fucking like. Through the beginning to the end, I did not like her, and I honestly don't think she got better. Ashley Herring Blake probably made the idea of like, it would be really cool for her to be a single mom, kind of thing like that. But I don't know if I appreciate it very much. I kind of found myself going, you're a mom who complains and overreacts and makes people feel like they're not worthy and that they should not be trusted and things like that. And then you do stupid things like when your daughter comes home from a sleepover and she has to like sleep in your bed and have like a moment with you because there's someone in your bed, instead of telling that person and be like, hey, my daughter needs me right now, I need you to leave. It just didn't feel like she was really being a mom. Whenever she did reach out, it never seemed like Claire was really a mom. I felt like Ruby was not even a kid. It wasn't something for Delilah and Claire to get through, but it felt more like an obstacle, a speed bump, because it's a kid. and they didn't want to tell the kid and things like that. And just like, I don't know, I didn't appreciate like how much how much was the treatment of Ruby. It's because I just wish that Claire was written better, or maybe not even have Ruby at all. I don't know. I can't, it irked me so bad with Claire, and she was nails on a chalkboard for me. I found her incredibly annoying. And then the thing with Astrid and Iris, I found them incredibly freaking annoying. And there was those moments where Delilah felt annoying. And that makes me upset because it's a bummer that this is my last book for Rom-Com-A-Thon. And it didn't hit. It didn't hit like everyone makes it out to be. I was watching a TikTok where they're like, this is gay and it slaps, you know? I was so excited. But in my opinion, it doesn't really slap. It kind of slaps you in the face, not really slaps. But, I don't know, it's a bummer. I wanted to like this book. This is it. That was it. So, I don't have all the books with me anymore. So, Kids Quotation 5, Twisted Hate and Mistake were 4, Colty was 3, and Delilah Green is a 2. So it was a very varied range of books of how I felt about them. I got my first 5-star doing this, but also I had my first like disappointment of the year as well. So a whole of ranges of emotions right now as well. Would I do anything like this again? Hell yeah, definitely. Rom-Com-A-Thon is definitely something that is my cup of tea. I love rom-coms. I love romance. Honestly, if I could find a readathon for romance books for every month, I probably would. This has been fun. I'm going to try not to make this a sour ending by saying how much fun I had and how much I would love to do this again if they ever did another Rom-Com-A-Thon. I would be 100% full tilt into it, ready to go, ready to pick some more rom-coms. So, but yeah, I think that is it. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. This is the end of the reading vlog. Oh, I probably should do it because I did it with this one. This is like I'll give it a 2. A 2 out of 5 in spice as well. But with that if you want to talk about spice and kinks and certain scenes and certain books that I read, comment down below. Let me know how you're feeling. There has been a couple scenes from these books where I'm just like, muy caliente. So I would love to talk. I would love to discuss. Also, if you enjoy this, I would also love it if you're subscribed. If you just want to give me a nice like on this video, that would be nice. That would be very nice too. With that, I am going to let you go, and I hope you enjoyed this reading vlog, and I will see you next time. Bye!